This is Thatch with the Spartan Brotherhood on World 98. I just wanted to take some time, show you some basics of starting a city. So I started on World 44, which has been finished for quite a while, just so I can show you how the tutorial runs. Now, when you're done with the tutorial, you should have 30 build spots left. The reason I don't is that I put in another quarry. Now, you should be at the end of the tutorial, if you haven't modified the tutorial at all, you should be producing each of the 4 resource requirements. You should have a level 4 town hall, 1 warehouse, and 5 berserkers, which are currently recruiting. Right here, as you can see. Now, you should also have a level 1 training ground, a level 1 barracks up here. Now, your town hall down here, which is currently level 4 at the end of the tutorial, will produce 300 wood an hour. No matter what level it is at, it will produce that. So, you're going to need to start focusing on wood a little bit. Not wood, stone, my bad. So, put in another couple quarries. Up here. Now, you're going to want more stone production than wood production, probably. The reason for this is that military buildings require more stone to build than ordinary buildings, such as your town hall, woodcutter's hut, quarry, farm, iron mine, and so on and so forth. Now, the exception to that is the wall, the towers on the wall, and your refinery buildings, such as the mill, wood, yes, sawmill, stonemason, mill, those are some exceptions to that rule. But in general, now, the reason for more stone production is that, and Chrome's not working for me, which is annoying. You're going to need to end up building a level 10 Moonglow Tower and a level 10 Intrinsic Temple to start your second city. This requires a lot of stone. So as to not constantly be running out of stone, you're going to want that production high. So once you are done with the tutorial, you should start putting in some more stone production. Also, you're going to want a high construction speed. I would recommend anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 as a base before you start your second city. The reason is these buildings can take a long time, sometimes days, to build. And if you don't want to be spending days for one upgrade, cottages come in very handy. A level 1 cottage will increase your production by, increase your construction speed by 4%. A level 10 cottage increases it by 100%. Now, the reason I placed the cottage there was that it is touching more stone production, increasing my stone production. Let's see what happens when I move it away. My stone production is currently 127 an hour. Move building. Select away from the stone. And it dropped about 4 an hour. Now that might not seem like a lot, but consider this. At level 10, a cottage gives a 30% increase to everything. So, that will add up eventually, especially at higher levels. The base production for a quarry, woodcutter hut, and iron mine is 20 at level 1. Okay? Now, why does it say that it's producing 56? Well, let's look. First of all, it's touching 4 stone nodes, giving it an increase of 50, 40, 40, and 40. It's also touching a cottage, which is giving a 3% increase. The base production of a farm at level 1 is 5. Give it a second. See, 5 an hour. So why is it at 29? Well, 50, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40 for all these little farms right there, little spots. It also gets 50% from the lake that it's touching. Because of this, you really don't want the farm to be touching another node, such as iron, stone, wood, what have you, or running into a wall. That's also not a good idea. So, I generally recommend about 20 cottages in your first city. Try to get them set up as quickly as possible. Other people give different recommendations. The reason I suggest 20 is that it gives you a base construction potential of 200 to 2100%. So, and also 20 cottages will increase your production significantly, especially at higher levels, um, which is very important. So, now in older versions of the tutorial, it would also have you upgrade the city wall, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. It would also have you put in a hideout. If you are not on continent 2, which is our home continent, of course, and you're on a hostile continent where there's the possibility of being raided, people say it's a bad idea, but I don't see the problem putting in a hideout. One hideout, no more. You only need one. The purpose of the hideout is to protect you from little plunders that'll come your way. If someone comes in and plunders you, and you have a build queue set up, they can steal res out of your build queue, stopping your build, which can seriously slow you down. So put one in, upgrade it sparingly, don't do it too often, but just enough to cover a couple buildings in your build queue, so that your upgrading and building isn't harmed by a single plunder coming in, which can be very annoying. Now, right now I have a construction speed of 112%, an additional 12%. That's not much, is it? And it doesn't seem like it would have a big effect, huh? Well, 12% of a very high level can actually be a lot, but you want more, because you don't want buildings to take much longer than 3 hours at a time. In the early stages, it's okay if it takes longer, but later on, you're going to want high construction speeds. Now, there are two primary ways to get gold in this game. Gold up here, I have 0 because I just started. Now, the first way, which a lot of veteran players say is best, is raiding, which is done with troops. Just a second. Here it is. Now, there are many troops that you can choose from, okay? And on the description of the troop, it will say offensive unit or defensive unit. Now, if it's a defensive unit, toward the end, it will also say also suited for raiding. This means it's defensive, but it has a rather high attack. So, you don't want to attack other people with it, but it's good if you're going to raid dungeons. So, go to region view, and see if I can find a dungeon. I'm not sure that I can. Ah, yes. Dungeon, level 9. Level 9 I'm not going to hit, but that would be the primary way of getting gold. That's one of the primary ways. The other way is through trade. If you have excess... Wait just a second, because I actually have to upgrade my town hall for this. I'm not sure that I can. Nope. Okay, the other way is through trade. You open up trade. I hope it's opening. And you click Own Offers. Under here, you select what resource you want to put up for sale. Then, depending on the number of carts you have and the amount of the resource that you have, you type into this little box a certain amount. Now, I don't have any carts, so I can't type anything into that little box. Once you've done that, you come down here and set price. So, right now, if I put up 1,000 stone for trade, as an example, I would get 750 gold for that stone. So, if I wanted a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 stone for 1 gold, I'd put in 1,000. Because it sells in units of 1,000. Okay? If I wanted more than that, I would change the number. Now, a little while ago, they actually introduced minimum trade gold and maximum. They didn't always have that, which is a little annoying. So, try to trade for your maximum. It's the other primary way of getting gold, and you will need gold. To get your second city, you are going to need 100,000 for the Baron, 40,000 for the research, and anything else that might come your way, such as if you're low on resource and you want to buy something. Not generally recommended, but hey, you do what you have to. Now, there is technically another way of getting gold. A lot of players don't like it, though. Some do, some swear by it. I'm a little impartial to it. It's use it when you need to. Townhouses. A townhouse will provide you 25 gold an hour at level 1, and its production is increased by bordering marketplaces and harbors. Harbors, down here, level 10. So, if someone has a problem with me recommending more stone than wood in your first city, keep it to yourself. Well, mail me, but still, I'm not likely to change that. You're not going to want a whole lot of iron or food production in your first city. The reason is, you don't need a lot of it. Now, you will need more iron than wood, so go ahead and put in a couple more iron mines, and the tutorial says. If it'll work. The reason you're going to need more iron than food is because, what do you need food for? Well, feeding troops, but you probably shouldn't be doing that with your first city. And you're going to be needing it to research the next title, so that you can recruit a Baron. Now, the amount necessary for that is 40,000, plus 25,000 to settle the new city. So a total of 65,000. Now, let's consider the amount of iron you're going to need. You're going to need the same amount as food, but you're also going to need an additional 50,000 iron to recruit the Baron. Okay? Let me go into this and show you. Recruitment. All the way down to the bottom. Baron at the bottom. I hold over it, you can see it requires 50,000 iron and 100,000 gold. What does this mean? It means you're going to need a lot of iron for that thing. And quite a bit of gold. So, put in a little bit more iron production than you have food. Try to get more stone production than wood. Not a whole lot more, but, you know, a little bit more to give yourself that edge when you come into getting a Moonglow Tower or Intrinsic Temple. Other than that, make sure that your cottages are bordering as many buildings as possible, minimum 2. You don't want them bordering just 1. There are going to be better places to put them. You're going to want your production buildings to be bordering a minimum of 2 resource nodes. Don't put them bordering just 1. It's a bit of a waste of a building. Now, I did it over here with that as a demonstration, but you really shouldn't, not in your first city. It's a waste of resources. Try to get a solid amount of construction speed. It will help you a lot. And I think that just about covers the introduction, so thank you.